Hello, everybody. This is Michael Haefliger from the Lucerne Festival. Hearty welcome to all of you on our first happy hour. And we're all a little bit happy already. All of us had a small glass of wine already and a little bit relaxed. So it's not going to be a very serious event. We're going to be relaxed, reflect on the times a little bit, think where we stand today and what's happening in our professional and in our private lives. I'm extremely pleased to welcome here with me wonderful distinguished artists from the Lucerne Festival Orchestra, Gregory Ahss, who is our concert master since 2006, violin. Welcome, Gregory.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Then Raymond Curfs, percussion, who is the leader of the percussion group, founding member of the Lucerne Festival Orchestra. Welcome. Cheers.
Hello.
Then we have Reinhold Friedrich, trumpet, a solo trumpeter of the Lucerne Festival Orchestra and founding member. Cheers.
Hi to everybody.
And also Dirk Wucherpfennig, percussion member of the percussion group from the beginning, founding member. A hearty welcome to you, Dirk.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody. Good night. Hello.
Thank you for finding the time. So when we parted in October, after the last performance of the Lucerne Festival Orchestra in Shenzhen, China, out of all places, we had no idea what would be coming up. And I think we've all gone through the craziest of all crazy times in our lives. None of us, fortunately, have had to witness a world war or these kind of catastrophes, but I think we have lived through and we are still living in a catastrophe. We have been more or less out of work. I know most of you playing in orchestras or teaching and performing solo chamber music all over the world have been stopped within 2 weeks, and it's been going on since 3 months. Europe is slowly trying to come back to normality, opening up. We have hopes that things will greatly improve during the next weeks and months, but we absolutely have no guarantee. Being artists, great artists as you are, where has this, aside from, of course, the heavy professional consequences you had to go through, where has this put you as an artist with your thinking, with your emotions?
Yeah, first of all, you feel this very, very big gap, this big black hole where you are busy, you go from one airport to the next, you are playing concerts, whatever. My lockdown happened when I had the first time playing in the Berlin Philharmonic, and Sir Simon Rattle came to my place and said, "Hey, Reinhold, it's so nice to hear you here in this orchestra." So we had the hope to finish this week, but the concert was finally without public in a black wall. We played our music, and that was a big shock and a big. It was somehow sensational also because of this, to be in Berlin filled with this shutdown, and yeah. Let's go to the next guy to tell how he feels with that.
Grisha.
Wow, for me personally, I think for a moment I would say I just forgot that I'm an artist. We all became sort of human beings, and I could identify with everybody, and one could see how quickly things can turn, and things you could never imagine you would see in your lifetime, you will see. And now who knows what will come. Personally, I can say that for me, it was a kind of a unique opportunity to stop and look around. This opportunity that we never get, to look inside yourself, to know, to understand what I actually like, what I love to do. And in a funny way, rather than jumping wanting to jump back to all the things that I was doing before. Maybe I thought it's a great opportunity to understand, do I want to come back to all of these things? Or maybe it was like a general cleanup in a way for me. Kind of understanding what is the essence of what I like to do really. And what are the things that I just do because, you know?
Mm.
So for me personally, I have to say it's still an incredible experience. I feel a lot of pain for the really tragic loss of life that people are suffering. But for me personally, it was, I treated it as a unique opportunity to look, kind of to stop for a second. And this opportunity, I don't think we ever get to really for 2-3 months, really to find out. So in a way, I'm horribly sorry for this horrible tragedy, but in a way, I'm also very grateful for this time, because I don't think it will ever come back. It's really unique opportunity to live through something.
Is there something you really would like to take and say, hey, this has changed in my life, I want to keep it? I don't know, how many flights a week did you take? How often were you in the airplane?
I found out that maybe it's not so necessary. Maybe it's nice to concentrate on, I don't know. I think now I understood spending time with your family is really, it's much more important than I thought. Seeing my friends, I dare saying maybe it's not that important. Traveling like crazy, I don't know. I think we should bring the music everywhere, definitely. But I don't know. I'm sure I would probably scream, and now 3 months is enough. I think it's time to go back. But I think these 3 months were really necessary. What would I not come back to? I don't know yet. But I figured out that I enjoy fresh air a lot. For me, I think it will be very hard to go back to 6 hours rehearsals. That, for example, when there's such, especially in Switzerland, there's so many things to see, and yeah, it's incredible. So that would be a tough one. I think rehearsals are overestimated somehow.
Did you
That's
Richard,
the
did you discover any new repertoire, like a violin concerto from the 1930s?
I got rid of the shoulder rest. I stopped playing with shoulder rest. I can almost play double stops now. It was wonderful also to kind of brush yourself everywhere and get to the places where you don't usually get. I hope it's not too much information, but that's how I feel. Really, it's also for myself to look inside my soul. And with the instrument, I found the time that I never have, because I have to study the scores. At last, I had like 2 months to practice only when I want to, and things that I really want to. That was for me quite a unique opportunity, since I'm a student. I don't know how it was for you guys, but since I'm a student, I really could live as a student purely. This is quite unique in our positions. It's quite a unique thing, I think, to get.
Yeah.
Raymond.
There is a discovery of Isaïe 7th Sonata.
Oh,
wow!
What is it called? The 7th.
Because Zuckerman sent me a link. It's quite a discovery. You should check it.
What?
Are you going to perform it to us?
Not tonight.
Why not?
If I keep mixing the wine, I might.
Raymond, you are also the solo percussionist at the Bayerische Rundfunk Symphonieorchestra. Now, for your orchestra, this must also have been a horrible time, very difficult time, basically not being able to perform, now slowly coming back, experimenting on different scenarios and how you can put up the orchestra, what the effects are, how many audience, and all of this process, which everybody in the presenting scene is now going through. But it must, in April, none of us knew that it will become better. We all were in there in this hole. And how was it for you and also for the orchestra? How did you deal with it? Did you did you keep up the contact to the members? Was there kind of a family feeling of sort of holding together, staying together in the most difficult moments?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's a huge tragedy, of course. When you look at all the people died, that was first to me so realistic. It was like in a really, like you say, bad movie. You could simply not believe that so many people were dying, especially when you look at Italy and an extreme situation in Spain. So I think this was for all of us a kind of not true. So that was a kind of a shock, I think, and especially when you think about the fact that no one, except I read about one old lady, no one in the world, in the whole world, just imagine, had a situation like this before. No one of us, young, old, middle-aged, no one ever. So it's like Grisha said, it's coming down like, no matter what you do, who you are, you're a human being. You come back to basic stuff, and everybody's in the same boat. So that was first of all kind of a shock, and the extreme outcome of this happened later when things got worse and worse. So of course everything was also shut down, and on the day when they closed in Holland, everything, we were supposed to have a finishing concert of a masterclass week, percussion week, organized, and this was also cancelled. And it was no one could believe it, that suddenly from one second to another everything was shut down. So that was quite a shock. In the orchestra, of course, we also first did not know what to do, and then
you just lost your chief conductor.
That was actually 1 week before the lockdown. 1 week before, we had a memorial concert for Maris Jansson with Anne-Sophie Mutter. It was a fantastic concert, very emotional concert. For many of us, you could feel it, the atmosphere, and the concert was really, really touching. And then 1 week later, another disaster happens to the world. So many bad things happened the last 6-7 months, especially also for our orchestra. We brainstormed via internet and to the offices, of course, of the orchestra. What can we do to reach our people, to reach our audience? And then some people came up with the idea of private concerts, like playing for 2 or 3 people, like the abonnementen. How you say it? I don't know the English word. People that have
subscription concert. Subscription.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Subscriptioners.
Yes, the subscriptionals, to play private concerts for them. And until now, I think we have 50 or 60 concerts already played. And so there is something going on. And you hear from many people that when they hear live music, that they're so happy to hear live music again.
Yeah.
So what we do is not, you cannot measure it with money. It's what we do measures feelings, is measured in emotions, is an enrichment for your soul. And this is a very important thing, especially in these difficult times, where money is more needed for understandable other things than culture. But culture is, I think, a not underestimated issue in society, which brings a lot of happiness and joy. And also what Grisha said, we have to bring our music to the people that can't come to us. So I'm looking forward to play again, because that is our energy, that is our food, our drinks, that is what we need. So we're slowly getting back. We're doing next week a project with Antonini, and then a project with Daniel Harding. So the next 3 weeks, 3 projects are coming up with a minimum on audience, but something is happening, and I think more fast than we thought it would come back. And the value of music to me was always very valuable, but I think for many people, especially also politicians, they should know it's a thing we can't miss in society.
Did you get a feeling in Germany, Remo, and then also Dirk, that I heard there were a lot of articles and a lot of motions apparently also from the artistic scene, that the arts didn't feel that they were respected in the same way as other parts of societies. I mean, Bundesliga went back to play already like 6 weeks ago, and I mean, it's only 25 people on the field and a couple of others around, but I mean, they're hugging and embracing each other, and yeah.
25 millionaires.
Where do you think? Do you think there will be an improvement for the position of the arts in all of these discussions, or how did you experience that?
Dirk is a big football fan. Dirk is a big
No, but I think to be honest, I think that the measures and the problematic situation here where we are now, I think it's a little bit like with a big Mahler hammer, and it actually damages too much, which is not necessary. For example, I think it's very important. I had the same feeling like Yuja. I was I think for a month, for several weeks, I was really without orientation, really, in a way. I didn't know what to do now. It's so weird because you're used, like you said, you're traveling extremely. Last year was so busy, and I really wished in the last year, especially at the end of the last year, to have I wish to have some weeks free. And I didn't expect that it would be so much. And this is also really a chance. Then you can really have time and to listen into yourself what is really important for you, what you really want. For example, my experience is that you don't have so much time in normal business times when you have everyday rehearsal and concerts and travel. You don't have much time for listening to pieces. And after a while, I began really to listen to many pieces and studying scores. And this is also a chance to find new things for yourself and not follow always the same path. But to answer your question, I think I understand, of course, very much the measures, because we see in the countries which did not react, like US, also Brazil, which horrible situation will follow as a consequence. So I understand that. But I think we should be more creative and more flexible with the situation. And actually we have summertime, and we know that the danger of infection is really not very big outside if we are a little bit careful. And I don't understand why the situation is so unflexible. I wish we could try more. I know that my orchestra, for example, in Berlin, the Concertos Orchestra, they do it. They will play Beethoven at this weekend, open air. That's a very fast reaction to the situation. And I would wish that the politicians would also be a little bit more, what is the right word? A little bit more flexible, because there are so many musicians they really need to play, because it's our life, not only for the money, it's our life. That's all we want to do. And also we are nothing without audience. I'm not a big fan of the streamings, because we have bad microphones mostly. I don't want to have a beautiful concert or a fantastic artist. I don't want to watch him on my mobile phone. even not on my laptop. I need to see the hall. I need the audience and the whole atmosphere. So I think it's a chance really to think new, also to find new pieces which will fit into this actual time, smaller pieces, smaller settings. But I hope that now it's time for us really to find more ideas. I hope that will pop up some open air chances in the very near future for us, for everybody.
So I have a question to you. If we would be all in Lucerne tonight and we'd have the orchestra there being able to perform whatever, which piece would you choose to perform tonight in this situation?
In this situation?
All of you. The question is to all of you.
I would play Mahler 6 definitely, because I expected such a nice year, and it's ending so, or it's developing so tragic. So that's the first idea I would have for the situation, actually, if we're allowed to play with a big orchestra.
Reinhold.
There are so many pieces I would like to listen to and to play. Of course, Mahler 6, but perhaps more the Mahler 5.
That's clear.
Clear information from first trumpet, but also the hunger for good music and for being together, to be in a group, is so big that I perhaps would ask for a piece by Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy, Wie der Hirsch schreit nach Wasser, the fantastic cantata for a small orchestra, because the dust, the hunger, and I'm so thirsty for nice togetherness, and that piece would be lovely to realize. I mean, the economy is essential. We hear always in the politics, we hear this is essential, Lufthansa is essential, and this part of and I think we are the most essential. We are the center, we are the culture, we are the definition of human being. That is to express art, and I think all the politics, they are speaking around our center. So we are in the middle, and the politics should realize that if they take this part away, they destroy the soul.
Absolutely. Raymond, your choice for tonight.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a difficult one, Michael. Just like Reinhold said, there's so many beautiful pieces you would like to play. And I think, I don't know, it's maybe also due to the situation. I would probably go for 2 pieces, and one would be the Brahms Requiem, for all these people that partly unnecessarily died, and the tragedy that came over so many families. And on the other hand, Mahler's Second Symphony, like the Auferstehung Symphony, to see that mankind can do something about disasters that come over us. So this second piece as an encouraging stand-up sign to everybody that loves culture, to everybody that loves music, especially our audience, like Reinhold says, and also like Dirk says. Without our audience, we can't do anything. And when you see at the growing amount of people that come to concerts, music cannot be missed.
Grisha, your choice for tonight.
I would of course give Mahler 5 for Reinhold, and I would never say no to Boy Felix. But my first idea was, of course, especially because of our orchestra, was the Resurrection Symphony. If we're back, then it would be a big symbolic
Okay, I'll pass this on.
If we're allowed, if the choir is allowed, I don't know if the politicians think trumpet is spreading the germs like bazooka. I don't know. So it's
We are
it's
not.
Grisha, I'm glad you didn't choose the Heldenleben. So Reinhold, the Lucerne Festival Orchestra. If we turn to our beloved orchestra, I mean it's basically, it's not a seasoned orchestra. It doesn't compare to in that way to the Berlin Philharmonic or Bavarian Radio Symphony or Vienna Philharmonic and all the others. Why? What is the difference? I mean, why is this orchestra so great, so unique? Why has it also developed its identity in sound and culture? Many people call it it's the family orchestra. And by the way, Grisha, congratulations to you and Kio on the birth of your daughter.
Thank you so much.
You have to explain this a little bit why.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've been you've probably been the most creative, but Reinhold.
It was before the Corona time. The creativity, the part was before.
Yeah.
Reinhold, what is the secret of this orchestra?
Yeah, that is the deep friendship which put us together in the Claudio's times when we found together. A lot of people didn't know each other. A lot of people know very well each other, but we have been put together from him, and that created very deep and strong relationships between all of us. And now Ricardo is taking this over and is continuing, and I think it will also survive the coronavirus easily, because we think all together. We love us, and we wait. We are hungry for the day where we can put this wonderful big picture again, this puzzle with 100 and more people together to one sound cloud, and we are living in that. And it's one of the most beautiful parts of my whole life, and I miss it extremely. And all little attempts to survive that I play day for day on my balcony for the people of my village. It's beautiful, and they love it. They do a candlelight on their table, and they listen at 1940 with the bell, when the bells stop. They listen this concert. It's beautiful to play for them. It's beautiful to be there with my wife. But when we come together in Lucerne, it's an explosion. It's the first day when we come together. It's such an extreme atmosphere to meet all these friends, and of course this is transport to music, to sounds, and that is the difference. I mean, all the other people in the whole world, they come together also to play good music, but they come together because of they have to do it, or they do it because they want a position or so. We don't need that. Nobody of us need to do that, but we love to do it, and this love is the transport. That is the big mystery.
Remo, what was your craziest experience in the orchestra so far?
If you need to consult your lawyer, it's okay.
But don't tell our story. Please don't tell our story. Yeah? Don't speak about. Don't.
Crazy can also be very serious, you know.
Oh, if I have two, but if I tell the worst one, I won't play there anymore. So I get.
It's all right. Tonight is out of the order.
Well, actually, one of the crazy things. And we have a lot of fun there, and that's the reason why we play there, right? But one of the for me most funny things was a concert with Claudio, and where where we played after the first piece, we had to really go off stage. It was also live on TV. We really had to go quickly off stage. And I see someone of us 5 is laughing now. And a colleague of mine. And I told him he should really get quickly off the stage because he should there was nothing to play for him in that second piece. So, but as I know him, it's some situations he's a little bit slow, although he's very quickly.
What?
But
No name.
so Claudio did not, well, he came really quickly back on stage. And my colleague to my right side,
It was so fun.
he was he was still sitting there. So the whole piece,
Clean up a little bit.
you see the KKL is completely full, yeah, sold out. And there's someone sitting, and he's just sitting there in his concert suit and not playing, and just sitting there. And
Yes.
the piece is over, everybody applauses, and he's still sitting there. So,
Yes. It was
that was so funny.
And so I tried to think about what could I do so that the audience could have the impression I have to do something. So in the middle of the piece, I turned the music. So and I hope that the audience will later think they have forgotten when I played. So
That was so funny.
it has been a very long piece for me. Very long piece.
Oh God. Oh, I started
But
crying.
how was
again.
I?
No, I really start crying again when I think of this story. I still have to. So funny, so funny. So that's my story.
Grisha, your crazy story from the orchestra.
Oh, I think I will pass it. I cannot.
I have it. It was after our brass party the next morning when
Are we
Grisha
allowed to? Are we
came
allowed to
45
say?
minutes late, and he was trying to sit on the chair, and it was quite hard for him.
45 seconds. I remember that Claudio actually said, "Wow, when did you wake up?" I said, "Yeah, like 2 minutes to 10." Like, wow, then you made it quite quickly. Well done. It was Bruckner, I think Bruckner Symphony, and I was there really quickly. iPhone did.
Wow.
It was like yeah, the bug of 2000. Millennium bug.
There's a question from the audience.
Wow.
A very interesting question. What would dear Claudio play tonight? It's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Probably a mix of pieces. Yeah, I'm as you all know me, I'm quite emotional in my substance. I think probably Adagietto Mahler 5 would be in it.
Mm-hmm.
For a certain sense of sincereness. And then, whoa, that's a difficult question. Ooh, help me, guys.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
What would
Hard to say. He would probably play something that we don't expect, and I think it would hit actually the point. But it's hard to say.
Maybe Bruchstücke from Wozzeck.
And before Bach-Cantata, Ich habe genug.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bach-Cantata, Adagietto, and then Wozzeck Bruchstücke. That would be a good order.
And some no hay caminos.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Or somehow it would be extremely classy and tasteful bouquet somehow that we wouldn't come up with.
No.
And he would bring such a flair to it and such a noble humanity to this thing. I think it would have been amazing, actually.
Mhm.
I'm sure we all think about him, especially I was thinking about him quite a lot because of this recent development. I think how he would react and what he would do. It's a good question. We don't know, of course. We can just assume. I think I'm sure it would have been beautiful, because whatever he was doing basically he had a magic touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure it would appeal to all the humanity. No, that was what he was doing mostly, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't really matter what he would play, because he would just touch it and it would be magic, I think.
Yeah.
I think the craziest experience we had was with the performance of the Battistelli. You remember that?
Yeah.
Piece we did. It's about this socially oriented piece about the Italian workers and kind of close to socialism, communism, and which was directed by his son Daniele at Lucerne. And we didn't know what this was going to be all about, and we didn't see how it could fit. And I think he did Mahler's songs with Thomas Quasthoff before, and the program looked so awkward. I mean, we couldn't imagine how is this going to work. And then comes Claudio and puts this together, and it was difficult, with his son and getting this all active. And Battistelli is not. It's a composition, and it isn't a composition. It's more like a social statement about the importance of workers, about the basic force of humanity, and it doesn't really have this strong musical connotation. And then comes Claudio. He does these Mahler songs before. I think it was Mahler songs, and then the Battistelli, and it was there. There was a law. There was a clarity about it. Just when the very first concert took place, he heard it 3 years before, or maybe even longer, but it was there and it just worked. And I've seen very, very few artists who are able to do that, create such an illogical, not logical format of a program, and yet it becomes so logical and so convincing. And that I was found astounding with him. And well, I think it's been really great. I see it's great to catch up with you all, and it's great to feel the spirit, and it's wonderful to think ahead. We have a few ideas as to what we would like to do in the future. And this orchestra will live forever. I'm convinced, and it's a great force in the world of music, and it does go beyond classical music, I must also say, and that you're the ones responsible. You're the ones who keep up this energy, who keep fighting for the cause, and it's just wonderful to be with you. And I think we will come back very soon. We don't know with what, but if we have the opportunity, we will go for it. We will jump at it. And I think if there's one thing coming out of this Corona situation is that when we get the opportunity, we jump. We don't wait. We don't think. We don't think ahead 3 years, but we think ahead maybe 2 months or maybe even less, and we jump. And this is maybe something that coming positively out of this whole time, that we don't wait for 2 years. We don't always have to plan 3 years ahead, but we can also jump at opportunities. We can move, and we, the artistic society, can be very spontaneous, and in a way, in some dimensions, we have organized ourselves into a certain routine that I think we maybe will be able to challenge better in the future years, as difficult as the whole financial aspects of the current crisis may be to all of us. But it's great to see you all. And, you know, a last statement, Reinhold, a last statement of inspiration from you.
Yeah, I count the days like minus 100, minus 99, minus 98 to come back, because I wait for you, friends. I not only for the music, as you know, but we need to come together and to continue to write the next chapter in this fantastic book, which has so nice pages already, and it's of 1001 Night and some more, and I'm open to be a part of the next story.
Let's make a toast.
Amen.
Also. I would also like to make a toast to Ricardo Schai, our music director.
Yes.
Ricardo, I've been, of course, in touch with him many times over the past weeks. He's confined. Ricardo is confined to his home. They were all locked down, completely locked down. I think Milano is one of the cities hit absolutely in the worst manner. And the Scala is completely locked down. They don't know when they open again. And let's make a toast to him and to his family and to the entire Scala.
Salute.
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 E viva.
And, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for our first happy hour at Lucerne Festival. As you can see, it's been also a very reflective hour. And but times are different, times are special. But I think with these wonderful artists of the Lucerne Festival Orchestra, there's great hope, and we will be back on the live stage as soon as we can. The energy is there, the great artists are here, and thank you. The next happy hour will be already on June 25th with Valentin Michaud, the saxophone player, and Kian Soltani, the cellist. Both of them are winners of the Credit Suisse Young Artist Award. Excellent soloists and performers, and they've already made strong statements at the Lucerne Festival. We'll be welcoming them next week on Thursday, June 25th, together with my colleague, Susanne Ster. Thank you very much for joining us. All the best to you all over the world, and take very good care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Take care.